everyone. This is Coach Ed here at First Step to Losing Weight, the website that has been created to help individuals decide where to get started at in their weight loss efforts. And today I have with me K.Kay. She spells that K.Kay, and she is a contributor here to the website on more than one occasion, and we're going to be speaking about 7 steps to a weight loss. Good evening, K.Kay.
How are you?
Oh man, I tell you, it's been something. This weather change down here in southern Louisiana has been kind of rough on the old bones and joints.
I bet the elderly really suffer from that.
Yeah, and speaking of elderly, I noticed you had 7 steps here, to weight loss. Now let me just ask you, in your studies and in living many years that you have, the elderly has to have a little bit different type of nutrition than the younger folks. Is that correct?
Yes, they do.
And I noticed you take a vitamin. It's for women 50 years and older, and so that brings up in my mind, will we be covering in these 7 steps? Are these 7 steps good for young, middle-aged, and old alike?
Well, there are a lot of different little things that you'll be looking for in a good diet. A diet is not something you can adopt. What it is, though, is changing your eating behavior.
Well, I know changing our eating behavior. I'm just going to say here that you entitled this 7 steps to weight loss with 6 easy ones and 1 hard step. Now, you wrote a little introduction there, but we're going to get right into the seven steps. And the first one, which is actually the hard one, and you say making the promise and keeping it.
Yes, we do find that very often. I've experienced it myself. But the first thing you have to know in your heart and your mind and your spirit is that if you're going to let anybody down, it's going to be yourself.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Now,
yes.
Step 2, there has it says read the food labels. Now, I believe in reading those food labels, and we've talked about that off there. But don't throw away everything in the kitchen and make a mad dash to the grocery store because of what you're about to say. But try this approach, you say. Be an educated consumer, right?
Yes. The USDA and the Federal Trade Commission monitor all of the foods that go on that label for that packaging. And we need to know exactly how many servings that package would need to feed somebody.
Yeah, I noticed on the back of those packages it says it gives information, but then you have to look at it'll say 3 servings, 1 serving, 2 servings, 10 servings. So if you're looking at something like how many grams of sugar, reading that label, you got to multiply that times the servings in the can or the bottle. Is that correct?
That's correct. One of the main problems that people have, and when you're first starting out, is understand what you're eating and how much of it you're eating. 50% of everything you eat should be fruits and vegetables.
Well, look, you have here in step 3, avoid bad fat in any form. You say that fast food places major in fat, and I think pretty much everybody knows that by now, but you're trying to remind folks that in the beginning they need to learn how to actually exchange an item and replace it for a nutrition item. And you give an example of poor replacements here. And so by reading the label and following information, you can actually an individual make the right choices of how to replace and replace with what, correct?
That's correct. When you read on that packaging label and it says that it's a half cup serving and it's worth 100 calories, and how many calories does it have containing fat? Oftentimes with oleomargarine and some of the other spreads that are been used in the grocer's middle aisle where all the cold foods are, if you will pull out oleomargarine or cooking oil, even the canola, almost 100% of all calories in that food is going to be all from fat. that's what we have to avoid, that fat that we put in our mouths.
And in step 3 here, you actually say, for us to look for more healthy alternatives on the shelves. It can take some time to shop and do this, so that you tell folks, don't shop on a empty stomach, and eat a small meal before you go shopping, and that way you'll begin to learn how to shop and read labels, and it's just one step in many steps in order to achieve your healthy weight loss, correct?
Yes, if you would start today substituting in any food prepared any way except for being fried. Cut every bit of fried foods out of your diet. That doesn't affect your pocketbook.
Yeah, and off there you had mentioned that for people that kind of like the fried foods, to get off of them because of the grease and all, that you came up with making your own seasoned breadcrumbs, and I understand you have a nice recipe for that. And the breadcrumbs, you basically do what? You put it on the meat?
Yes, by and large that's the way you would use it, but instead of frying this particular meat in a hot oil and frying it is what you want to avoid. So if you can move it from the frying pan to the broiler pan, you're going to experience much more success in doing this.
Yeah, I noticed that you had brought and fixed some chicken that you had put in your secret recipe for breadcrumbs, seasoned breadcrumbs, and we was able to cook it in an oven, a conventional oven, and then also you tried one of the new infrared ovens. And either way, at the end of the time of cooking and preparing it, I didn't know I wasn't eating fried food. I thought I was eating a fried food. So
most people have really benefited from this one thing about don't fry meat.
Okay, well, the times we're running out today, and there's other easy steps that you need to finish up. There were 7. And also, if you'll look there at the website to the right of the articles, you'll see a place where if you need some phone coaching and some email coaching, if you'll just fill out your name and your email and when you can start and submit it for help, I'll get back with you, and go ahead and read and research around on the website and read some of other K.Kay's articles, some of my articles, some of the background information about us. And we thank you for reviewing and listening to this video today. We hope you have a great, healthy day of making healthy choices and reading those labels. K.Kay?
And we'll see you on the internet.
Thank you. Bye-bye.